Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I am doing my interview today with Safiyya Farooq. So my question to you first is, can you tell us more about yourself? How did you first get into art? Was it something that you always did, or was it something that you began to practice again now?
Uh, it's something that I've always done as far as like probably primary school. Um, yeah, it started off as a hobby, just drawing cartoon characters here and there, and the generic landscaping and everything, because that's what they do teach in school. Even toward high school, it was more of a hobby because we didn't exactly have an art class. We had we had a very small section that you'd call art, but it was more design technology, which is working with fabrics and stuff. But when I got into college, I specifically chose the art course so I could not have it as a hobby anymore, but as a tool to use maybe for like the long run if I wanted to pursue art as a career or as a freelance thing on the side. So I wanted to improve, and because of course high school didn't teach me, college did, and then accidentally university did. Right now I'm not studying anymore, but in fact I'm still doing my art sort of like a hobby kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm using it to push my social media and uh, create a following of people who would enjoy my art just as I enjoy theirs. So that's all I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, that's good. It's art is definitely a journey. Everyone's like at the different stages, but they're coming out of a hobby to something more professional, or they're still in between. So, for my next question, the work that you were exhibiting for this exhibition, can you tell us more about that process? Because I know it's digital. Is there something that is inspired behind it? Any meaning that towards it that you'd like the audience to know?
The artwork I made for this exhibition is fully digital, um, and so it's classed as a digital painting in a way, and it's mostly inspired by my sister Aisha and how she how Islam is viewed in her point of view. But the more I look into how she viewed it, the more I start to see myself in this piece as well. Even though I don't currently wear the hijab myself, but I can sort of see like the fragments being a part of how I see it too. That even if there's fragments, there's still there's still hope for those pieces that are scattered. And I know for a fact that one day I'll be able to pick it up myself and learn to just maybe accept the hijab in my life one day too, just as my sister is now accepting it in hers. And how it's been a rough journey for us because all we've been taught was we've always been spoon fed the religion itself without having the opportunity to go out there and learn it ourselves. So actually discovering things that we were never told, and um, re changing our views that we were raised on.
I'd say it's a very beautiful inspiration because a lot of people do relate to the exact story that you might have. It's something we grow up with, but then we don't feel connected to it until you actually start learning yourself. You're like, oh, wait a minute. This is a completely different thing than I actually was taught. SubhanAllah. So honestly, I think a lot of people will relate to this painting, inshallah, khair, because definitely, there's always one part that feels still uncertain, but then it's a gradual journey. It's something that you're moving towards, and Allah sees that effort, definitely. So my next question for you, what drives your creative practice? So I know that it's something mostly that is a hobby that you're slowly kind of leaning to with your social media. So do you think that art can be something that is essential, meaningful beyond it being a creative outlook? So can it be something that can be used for purpose instead?
Yes, actually, that's a good question. I've resorted back to doing that type of stuff online. So if someone has a commission request, I will take those commissions and create art for them. And I personally enjoy doing that because seeing people happy when I've made something for them really brings me so much joy. Even if it's like something I would probably hate doing in the process, because sometimes the process of making art can be very grueling. But the ending is worth it, and the smile that person would have on their face is totally worth it too. But this exhibition piece that I've made is so different from what I'm used to making that I think it has given me potential to drift into a new category of art. So let's say I specialize in character art, concept art, and game art, but I also want to specialize in Islamic art. So I have like another part of me that I want to look at and create for, and um, so it was very exciting to make it too.
No, I definitely agree with everything that you said, subhanAllah. Like we have we kind of lean towards something, but it doesn't mean that we don't have other options as well. Sometimes we might enjoy a certain style, sometimes we want to explore another. I think that's the nice part about art is that we get to explore, see what we like,
Yeah,
see what we can
exactly.
do, but see that also what we can do and see if we want to learn more about it. So was there any moment, either big or small, that defined you as an artist? Something that maybe might have kind of even a little bit of put your faith in art, that they came together. Maybe something that you kind of realized about yourself and shaped who you are today.
I would say my 2 years at university is what shaped my art today. Even no matter how later in life it was a big part of my art journey. The artwork I made in university was all put on exhibitions too. So that moment was when I um, first became a part of the professional scene, I suppose you could call it, because I never really used to set up exhibitions in a well-known place that would have these exhibitions, like the gallery in Thornton. um, and that has given me a potential to maybe exhibit some art myself in other places. I know there's a place in Bradford in town, the Trapezium Art Gallery. They host all types of artists, like from young to old, and if I wanted to, I could just submit a piece to them and have it put on an exhibition. But I never really did that since uni, so it didn't really click that I wanted to do that yet. But then you approached me with this opportunity to exhibit a piece in a gallery, a piece that I am entirely new to, and uh, and I don't know. It feels like I'm doing the good years in my uni again, and I I know that I'm gonna enjoy the the aftermath of all this as well. So yeah, I have to say the my years at uni is what shaped me into the artist I am now, even if I didn't get to finish it.
But it's still in that small time though that you still did a lot more. Even if you don't
Yeah,
finish something, you still had a lot of good memories and things that you learned.
I don't need a diploma to show for it. It was the memories that count.
That's fine, inshallah. Okay, my next question for you is what do you hope that others can experience or understand when they encounter your work in this exhibition? What do you not want them to know in terms of being a Muslim artist?
I want the people to know that it's okay to struggle in your journey to find your faith. That even that the fact that you're struggling is also considered a blessing. Um, and no matter how many pieces of your faith that you leave left behind, you are able to pick up either new pieces or the old pieces. The more you learn and the more you explore the religion you either are born into or you found growing up.
Okay, my last question actually relates to something about this. So, what would be your favorite quote or something that you always go by or remember?
My favorite quote. I had to pick this one out of the few that I had in my notes. But surprisingly, it's a quote by the late lead singer of Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, and it's a quote saying, "Wanting to be someone else is a waste of who you are," and I stand by that quote. I've ever since I've discovered myself in my early 20s, I stood by this quote through and through because of course when you're young you keep thinking about how you want to be this person or be like this other person who's really good in your class or be like the celebrity or be like just be like a person that you probably look up to your whole life. Instead, but by doing that, um you are not discovering who you really are as a person, as a single soul, because everybody's unique in a way, and if you're not gonna, you know, have that self discovery, then you're really missing out. That's what that quote means to me.
Amazing. Honestly, it is true. If you spend time trying to be someone else, then you're going to waste your own potential as well. And who knows, you could be even more better than that person in something that's completely, different in talent. Allah's blessed us
Yeah,
with different talents, and only you can do something amazing with that talent.
yeah, exactly.
And they're like, okay, that was my last question. Jazakallah khairan, Safiya, for coming on and speaking about your art journey.